I liked what you said earlier in terms of like when you're a fashion designer, you get to wear both hats of being a creative but also a designer. Yeah, and I think that's like very interesting when it comes to fashion because it's not as restrictive as you think it'd be.
I like to do everything. It's really weird, like photo shoot, everything.
Yeah.
No, after that, everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of my downfall.
Like you've got a vision and that's how you want your project to be, so like you just want to do it all because it's what you see and what you want to portray versus maybe bringing a photographer in who is going to take a shot and you're like, oh, that's not what I want, this is how I want it. So like,
yeah,
like a pretty understand.
Nervously laughing in a way. But like a bit, please. But yeah.
My ideal would be to plant a tree and then to make paper, then to make a book out of it. So like the whole process.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But it's very far off reality.
Yeah, to be involved in every process.
Yeah, but I think it's really nice to talk about those kind of things because it like brings you just back to that kind of passion. And I think that's very important as well for industry, that we just like don't get like tired in fighting for a creative environment for creatives. Because actually it's really sad that all the people have to do their passion project alongside their creative work. I find that it's just irony. So why is it this way?
Yeah. And I think sometimes it's like you saying, in finding the creative aspects, it's like, it's again breaking down those distinctions and walls you were talking about of that. It's actually everyone is creative, they're just using it in different ways. Like art, of course, is creative, and you might be creating, textile patterns and things like that. But equally creative is to think, how can I get around? I can't animate fingers, so what can I do in this time? That requires the same level of creative thinking. You're just applying it in completely different ways, and I think that's where sometimes there's a danger because we can start building up, well, this is creative and this isn't, like, because this is business and this is not, when really it's just using how you want to use your creativity, I think.
And I think that makes ourselves as well more happy than about our work if we see like, okay, this kind of like meeting or this kind of thing or this kind of like paperwork has kind of a creative aspect as well. So
sometimes the creative challenge is just, how do I find the fun in this? You have to get creative to find the fun, but that still is a creative exercise. It often is in meetings.
I think that is definitely helpful to be happy as a creative.
Yeah.
Definitely to be.
Celebrate, survive.
I think it's interesting though when we're talking about it's kind of like identity. So like I find a lot of people will quickly shut down to say that they're not creative, even though I think everyone's creative in their own way. But there is that definition. The same with design. I don't associate with design, even though I design things in my own way. But I just have this clear vision of like, this is what design is, and therefore like I'm not good enough for it.
Choices almost.
Yeah.
Well, that would be most designers. I'm not good enough for this. Like, that's the danger. Like, everyone can do it. It's just how you apply yourself.
Yeah.
And I think people just think like when think design, it's like graphic design, or like that's strictly it, or like product design and things like that. But like every process you're going through, like artistically, like there's elements of both that just interweave with each other. And like I don't really consider myself like an artist or a designer. It's like I'm just a creative person, and like whatever medium I tend to go for, that's what I'll use. So I don't try to limit myself, even though.
Just use a multidisciplinary designer.
That it works. I just heard about this in the last year, and I'm like, that, because it's so open. Because I think when you're trying to box yourself into labels, like I don't know how I define myself. Like I do so many different things.
Just use this term.
Multidisciplinary designer.
But actually people still ask, what are you doing? You're not able to do everything, aren't you? So I don't know, still stays difficult.
Yeah, because I think in society it's like there is that need to constantly have to sort and label, and people that aren't in that space just need something that's easy for them to understand. So it's almost like you have to like dilute yourself into this one thing so that people are like, okay, and they don't even care anyway.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it's I think as well fighting about kind of professionalism, because as well you don't want to undermine somebody who studied, like for example, let's be a typographer, which is a very specific field. So you study, like those people can be so crazy good. So it's then like, I don't know, 6 years maybe of study, and then they want this term for themselves because they earned it in a way.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the critical thing about it as well, that everybody as a designer is nice in a way to hear it, but on the other hand, I studied it for a while, so it would be awful if it would be kind of generic.
Yeah, kind of like everyone can
Yeah.
just attach.
I mean, everybody is creative, that's definitely, but
Yeah.
it's just about those kind of terms.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think like you can play a lot of people that do very everything, but like I'm a multidisciplinary designer, but it's kind of like if you break down all those elements, they're really not professionals in each of those small aspects, but they still want to try it all, they still want to do it all, and say I can do this, this and this, but in terms of your level versus someone who, like you said, studied for like 6 years, like they earn that right to say, oh, I'm a photographer, or I'm a graphic designer, or I'm an illustrator, or things like that, versus someone who's going, I just like to do a bit of this and this, and all come together and all look nice, and
You're
this
like,
is what
"That's
I
me."
want.
But I think some of that is from like what you were saying about the obsession with like labeling yourself, but it's almost because, especially in the creative fields, I think we start to lose the distinction between the person and the work, and we almost become our work. And that's where a lot of it gets hard because it becomes very personal, like an attack on the work is an attack on you, or sometimes like it can lead to burnout and a lot of stress problems because you're like, this is me, but it's actually your work. And I think if some of that, like the labels and things would break down, it's like the type, it's not that they're a typographer and they're not, it's that their typography work is really, really good and theirs is not as good, but we can stop putting the person into it and look at what the person is producing and stop worrying so much about saying, oh, I only produce this type of thing because I'm this type of person, but here is my work that I've produced, and I might produce multidisciplinary work in a lot of different fields, or I might produce very specific work, and people can be the judge of that. And if you want to do that, everyone has the capacity to, but to create that level of work, you do have to, like you're saying, put in the effort. There is the capacity there, but instead of worrying about, oh, this is my thing, this is my label, it's maybe this is my work, this is what I can do, but it doesn't define me, and I don't have to be strictly defined by that.